Okay, we're on Pesachim, Perek Hey, Mishnah Vav. A little bit of a long Mishnah, and we'll try to make it as clear as we can. I'll make myself a little clearer too. Says the Mishnah, Pesach, Sheshachato Shelo Lishmo B'Shabbat. If you shechted a Korban Pesach Shelo Lishmo, not for the sake of Korban Pesach, and we learn that if you shechted it Shelo Lishmo, it's pasul. Since you shechted B'Shabbat, then Chayav Alav Chatat. You violated Isur D'Oraita, and you have to bring a Korban Chatat because you shechted Shelo Lishma. Ushar kol zvachim sheshachatan l'shum Pesach. Okay, what about other zvachim? What if I slaughtered, I don't know, a 2-year-old goat? It's not the right kind, and I did a zachar. Im einam ru'uyim chayav. If they're not ra'ui, okay, meaning they can't be a Korban Pesach, and I shechted it for the Shem of Korban Pesach, then it's not a good shechita. Then chayav. V'im ru'uyim hem. But if they are ra'ui, so let's say I had a different Korban, right? So I had a Korban Shlamim. But I was mixed up, and I was like, it was supposed to be a Korban Shlamim, and I wasn't supposed to offer it on Erev Pesach, but everything is crazy around here. So I took my animal for Korban Shlamim, and I said, oh, the Shem Mitzvah Pesach, and it was Ra'ui, meaning it was the right age and the right kind of animal. It was less than a year. It was a little sheep, baby sheep. Okay, so now it's Ra'ui. So you have a machloket. Rabbi Eliezer mechayev chatat. Rabbi Yoshua poter. Rabbi Eliezer says you slaughter an animal not for the sake of a Korban Pesach. Okay. I mean, you did it l'shum Pesach, but it's not a Korban Pesach. It's shar zvachim. So therefore, you're chayev chatat. Rabbi Yoshua says, no, you're not chayev chatat. Who's interesting here? Rabbi Yoshua is interesting because you did the action. You brought the wrong animal. So let's look at the Bar Tanura. Rabbi Yoshua says patur. Why patur? Tekasavar yelled ta'ab b'divar mitzvah. V'asa mitzvah kol dehu. If you made a mistake, you're doing a mitzvah. I'm trying to make a Korban Pesach, and I did a mitzvah called who? Patur michiyuv chatat Shabbat. Then you're patur from michiyuv chatat. V'zeh asa mitzvah shakriv korban. I did a mitzvah. I'm in the Beit HaMikdash. I'm offering a korban. T'chol zvachim shenizbechu shelo lishban ksherim. I did offer a korban. Happens to be Shabbat. V'av shenishchetim l'shem Pesach. Machshehu l'Rabbi Yehuda beperek tamid yishchat. Even those that are shechted l'shem Pesach, then they're still considered a korban shlamim. So therefore, Rabbi Yeshua says you're patur. Why? He says, because they were re'uyim. I took an animal that was not supposed to be for Pesach and shechted l'shem Pesach, so it's still re'uy. Therefore, I'm osek b'dvar mitzvah and I'm patur. Okay. I'm Rabbi Eliezer, so now we're going to see their logical argument. Rabbi Eliezer says, how can that be? Ma'im ha-Pesach shehu mutar lishmo. If I have a Korban Pesach, and if I shechted for the Korban Pesach, it's mutar, it's good. Kishashina et shemo chayav. But when I shechted it for the sake of shlamim, everyone agrees on chayav. Then zvachim sheim asurim lishma. If I took a korban shlamim, which if I shechted it for shlamim, it would be asur. Kishishina et sheman. And now I said I did the shlamim, which would be asur for shlamim, and I make it a pesach. Shina et shemam. I do it l'shem pesach. Eino din sheyeh chayav. Of course you're going to be chayav. If I had a pesach and I did it not for pesach, I'm chayav. If I have a shlamim and I do it for pesach, of course I'm chayav. Amar Rabbi Yoshua. Rabbi Sheshes says lo. No, that's not true. Im amarta b'Pesach, a Korban Pesach, I turned it into a shlamim. Shishinahu the davar asur. I turned it into the Korban shlamim, and therefore, since I turned it into something that I'm not supposed to do on Shabbat, therefore I'm chayav. Tomar b'zvachim shishinam l'dvar mutar. But in this case, I took a zvachim, I took a Korban shlamim, and I tried to turn it into something that's Pesach davar mutar. And so therefore he says, I believe still. Therefore, says Rabbi Yoshua, he's osek b'dvar mitzvah, and therefore he's not chayav. Amar lo Rabbi Eliezer, but this is okay. You want to use that argument? Emurei tzibor yochichu. Emurei tzibor are the offerings like a korban tamid that are offering the korban tamid. Shehein mutarin lishman. You're allowed to bring them lishman, of course, on Shabbat. Vashochet lishman. But if I shechted lishman, we'll see exactly what that means. Chayav. What does shochet lishman mean? Emurei tzibor. Korbanot amrim b'tzibor b'Shabbat, like kogon korban tamidu misafim. Shemutarim lishachtam lishmam. You're allowed to slaughter them l'shem korban tamid. That's what you're supposed to do. Vashochet shar zvachim lishmam. But if I slaughter another animal l'shem korban tamid, chayav. And so isn't that the same thing? So therefore, let's read it again. Rabbi Eliezer says, Emurei tzibor yochichu. If I have a korban tamid or other korbanot tzibor, you can slaughter the animal for the sake of the right mitzvah. But if I slaughter another animal for the sake of a korban tamid, chayav. So why, if I slaughter another animal for the sake of korban pesach, are you saying patur? Amar le Rabbi Yoshua. Rabbi Yoshua says, lo. Not a good example. Im amartam be'umurei tzibur sheish lahem kitzvah. Kitzvah means a set amount. How many korban tamis are there? Everybody knows. So therefore, you're not going to be tarud. You don't have the right to take another animal and make a korban tamid. There's only one. Everybody knows who does it. Tomar bePesach she'en lo kitzvah. Would you say the same thing about a korban Pesach? You could imagine the pandemonium in the madhouse of the Beit HaMikdash. So he made a mistake. He tried to take a korban. Tried to take a korban shlamim, and he made it into korban Pesach. He thought it was missing. He thought it was for somebody else. So therefore, says Rabbi Yoshua, therefore he says, in that case, you're tarud and you'd be patur. Rabbi Meir says, no, afa shochet l'shem emurei tzibur patur. Even someone, a kohen who takes the animal and slaughters it for the korban tamid, for the shem emurei tzibur, he's also patur. Hashochet b'Shabbat zvachim achirim kol yemot hashana l'shem emurei tzibur patur. He says even that case is patur. That's also considered a case of to'eh bidvar mitzvah. Of course, we pass him like Rabbi Yoshua. So if a person accidentally is in the Beit HaMikdash and slaughters not for the right animal, he is covered. He doesn't have to bring a korban. We'll stop here, and we'll dedicate a learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha Bar Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.